Well, the details we've been able to confirm is 19 Assyrian hostages were freed in the early hours of this morning, and they're now they've been welcomed into the safety of St. Mary's Cathedral in Yacqo, which belongs to the Assyrian Church of the East. Now, this church has been sheltering these people since last Monday when they fled. All the hostages that were released earlier today were from the village of Tel Goran, and that number of 19 consists of 17 men and 2 women, with a woman and a young girl still remaining in captivity. And according to one hostages who were released, they also, in passing by, they met with some hostages from other villages, and the message that they gave was, they're still doing okay under the circumstance and they're hoping to be freed as well.
So what can you tell us about the village of Yacqo, which is where they're now being sheltered?
Yacqo and Kamishli were the villages that most of these people fled to, which is estimated to be about 3,000 people that fled to these cities. The villages that were raided is the villages of Tel Tamar and Tel Goran and Tel Shamiram, which there's still battles going on to free them.
So, as we know, a little over a week ago, the report was that there were 220 Assyrians, or about that many, that were captured. Are we seeing a slow release? I mean, 19 have now been released, but what happens to the remainder?
Well, that is the question, Tracy. There's over 250 in captivity, and most of the people that were released earlier today, they're elderly. So we can assume that there's many young men, women, children still in captivity. So we still don't know what their fate is.
And I assume that this is a most unexpected result, a positive result, but most unexpected.
Yes, well, there's many reports that say that there was a jizya, which is a tax enforced by ISIS on non-Muslims, which has to be paid. But we at Demand for Action have not been able to verify this report from the sources in Syria. So
what do you think has convinced the Islamic State to release these hostages?
I am not sure of the details of why they have been released. There's still not much clear details out, mainly because of safety concerns for the others that are still hostages. So we kind of do urge the media to not release any names of hostages, because there has been some outlets that have been releasing names, and people from the ground there are telling us to please, to keep it, not to release names, to be able to protect these people if there's any negotiations going on still.
Now, I know that CNN a couple of hours ago were reporting that there are Sharia law courts inside Islamic State territory, and that it is these courts that ruled on the release of the hostages, saying they are guaranteed some sort of protection under the Quran, even though they are non-Muslims. Do you know anything about these courts and how they operate?
Yes, again, there's many reports floating around, but we haven't been able to confirm that.
All right. So this latest event, I imagine, must change the mood a little. Is there a feeling at least that we can expect a number of the others to be released in the near future?
There is a little bit of hope now. There's many Assyrian Australians living here, and a lot of them do have family in Syria that have been either captured. Some of them have families that have died. So this does give a little bit of hope. But, in the next coming days, we'll be able to tell more.
And how is your group getting its information? Is it through the relatives and family members of Australians that are living here from the Assyrian community?
Yes. So Demand for Action. We've got contacts on the ground. We've been speaking to relatives that are there in Yacqo and Kamishli. We've got Assyria TV, which has got reporters there, and they're in constant contact with us as well. We've got the Church of the East itself there, and we've got Assyria, who's the charity organisation they're helping. We sort of get our updates from them. And we do have people in Syria calling their relatives, giving updates. But mainly we, at Demand for Action, we do get it directly from the people there.